On today's episode of Help, I Sexted My Boss.
We've got plenty of stories from our luxury weekend away.
We help you deal with a thick 10 centimetre meaty and...
That is unrelated to the previous script, I should just say.
We help you deal with a thick 10 centimetre meaty and... We help you deal with a 10 centimetre...
Just say thick, meaty sensation.
We help you deal with a thick meaty We help you deal with a thick 10 centimetre meaty sensation.
Got there in the end. And I've got a few things to say about your TV.
Hello and welcome to Help, I Sexted My Boss. Boss. Sorry, why have you got those sunglasses on?
It's just your teeth.
Do you really need sunglasses for
They're
it?
very bright.
I know, but...
I think it's just better for my eyes.
Okay, they're not that white.
I've got it from the solar eclipse.
The podcast, you look like Stevie Wonder. The podcast where we help you navigate the challenges of modern life, answering your 21st century questions and finding solutions to everyday dilemmas. Like, how do I tell my friend I'm never going on a long road trip with them ever again?
Oh, yes, I've been wanting to know how to...
I'll tell you how you do it. William,
Yes, darling Jordan.
I am never going on a road trip with you ever again. Ever.
Oh.
Ever.
Oh.
I'd rather poke my eyes out with knitting needles. Is it uncouth to take a Tupperware to a wedding? And what should you do if you've accidentally sexted your boss? But we're not usually agony out, are we? William Hanson, the UK's leading etiquette expert and best-selling author.
Oh, bless you. No, we're not. Jordan North, Capital Radio presenter and also best-selling author once. I'm more Monte Carlo, you're more Monte Cristo.
Who's Monte Cristo?
The Count of Monte Cristo. I don't know. Gary suggested that, so thank you, Gary.
Okay.
Let's toast. We also got new gin. This is Cap Gin from the Côte d'Azur.
Oh, fancy.
Yes.
That's fancy gin.
Oh, it's like our road trip. I'm going to do 2 parts Dubonnet and 1 part gin. You just sit there. I'll do it all. And we don't have any ice because Chairman Emeritus Stewart is still downstairs and hasn't come up yet with the ice. So we just decided to crash on.
That is really... Let me have a look at that gin.
It's a lovely bottle.
Keep it here. It'll get bloody nicked.
Yes.
Tell you.
Probably.
Honestly, you can't leave out in these studios. It's like a knocking shop, these studios. There's that many people in and out. Cap Gin, where's that from? France?
Côte d'Azur.
That's fancy, that. Have a sniff of that. Oh.
Is it nice? What are
That
the
looks
botanicals?
Really, really, really fancy. Cap is a premium gin from the Côte d'Azur,
Côte d'Azur.
made using botanicals synonymous with iconic location. Cap Gin combines flavours of juniper, mimosa,
Mimosa.
fleur d'orange,
Yep.
angelica root, what's she on, Rugrats? Coriander, rose, orange and lemon peel. The result is a crisp, elegant and refined flavour that truly captures the spirit of the French Riviera.
Lovely. Well, I'm so glad
Cheers.
you read that. Let's toast Joe Frost, a.k.a. Supernanny, who commented on our iPads at the dinner table video, agreeing that we should teach good manners and etiquette, so there's no naughty step for us.
Joe Frost, Joe, or anyone, speak to Channel 4 and get back on telly. I bloody loved Supernanny.
Yes.
Although sometimes I do think you could have just said, right, we've tried putting him on the naughty step. I know you've put him back in the bed 4 or 5 times. Now they just need a good hiding.
What, like hide and seek?
No, it's like a good...
Bit of corporal punishment.
Just a good hiding wouldn't do you any
Right.
harm. I didn't
Okay.
get many as a kid, 1 or 2, and it sorted me out.
If
fine.
anything, you didn't get enough.
There,
No.
exactly. I agree. Just a
Yes.
good hiding every now and then. I'm not promoting hitting children, can I just say?
It is unacceptable.
No, but the threat of a good
The
hiding.
niche. Niche Joe Frost
Let me
reference.
reword that. Sorry.
Yes.
The threat of a good hiding. You know, if your mum and dad said, I tell you what, lad, carry on, you'll get best hiding in your life. I'll paste you up and down these streets. That kind of thing. Carry on. Do you know what all you need, Joe, right? When your new series, all you got to say, especially to the boys, is just go like this. What my dad used to do. Carry on, lad. And you knew then. You knew.
Well, I can see that now, Joe. You can go into Channel 4 and go, I'd like to bring back Supernanny, but we're going to hit the children this time. I think that'll get commissioned immediately.
Just thinking of my lovely, beautiful nieces and nephews, and I would never...
You shouldn't hit anybody.
No, I agree. You can't lay your finger on them.
Although
Just
there
a threat of a good
there are
hiding.
some exceptions as to who you can hit, which leads me to press producer Ben's button. Hello.
I was just going to say, obviously, I love the idea of Jordan and Joe doing a show together on Channel 4, but obviously that would only last for 1 series. So
Why?
Because you're on it.
Because
Well done, Ben.
I'm doing a TV show coming up very soon, and I'm worried because it's been going for a while, and I'm worried once I've been on.
Probably.
Have I actually been on a show that's lasted longer than a series?
This
one?
Yeah.
Even Saturday Night Takeaway, I thought I was in this for years. Anyway.
Oh, well. Look, thank you, G&Divas. We have sold out Crosswires Festival when we do our podcast recording on the 5th of July in Sheffield.
Sheffield.
Lovely. I mean, obviously, it's a double-edged sword for me because I thought, the good news is if we don't sell any tickets, I don't need to go to Sheffield. Sadly, now, there's no getting out of it for me.
What have you got? It's such a good city. I reckon we have a really good night out there afterwards. What time will
Oh,
we
Luke
finish by?
sent me a restaurant recommendation that's apparently meant to be very good. Although the only trouble with that is we are meant to be doing a show over sort of dinner time.
No,
But we could go for lunch.
We'll go out in Sheffield after.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, great.
Well, you have a lovely time.
You're coming with us.
I'm not going out in Sheffield anyway, but particularly after slagging it off for 7 years.
No, you'll be fine. It's good. It's good.
Is it?
Actually, we're not going if they end up. When will that be?
Saturday, the 5th of July.
July. Well, no, if Sheffield United get promoted instead of us, I'm not going. So you need to actually hope that Sheffield United don't get second spot.
I think Chairman Emeritus Stewart, with his eyes, is trying to tell me contractually you are
No.
going. Yes.
Contractually, I'm like, what? Hey, we need to go on a Burnley game soon, is he as well? Yeah, we haven't been on one in a while.
Anyway, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you? How's your week been? What a lovely weekend we had.
We had a lovely week, even though you don't want to go on another car journey with me ever again.
We went to Devon together.
We did. Well, let me tell you, the cream goes on first.
It does. But on the Thursday night before we travelled to Devon, we thought we'd cut the journey in half and stay at William's mum and dad's in Bristol.
Wasn't so much half because it did take us a while on the M5.
We got stuck in traffic. My fault because I was 45 minutes late from originally setting off. But one of us in the car did have a meltdown.
Yeah, any guesses as to which one that was?
It was me.
Yes. I was so calm and placid.
Started getting claustrophobic. There was bags everywhere, suitcases, and everyone was just fine. I was like, we weren't going to get to his mum and dad's till 7 o'clock, after 7.
We were meant to be there at 5:30.
We were meant to be there at 5:30, and I hate being late.
But it was fine. My parents were chill about it.
And they're so lovely. They're so lovely.
Well, they loved having you.
I don't want to give away a disillusion too much but they are not as like my impressions that I make.
Shock.
Well, we got there. It's actually Dad that was on champagne.
Yes, he'd already had 2 glasses. Yeah.
I was like, hello, darlings. Don't worry about being. They're so lovely. She could not do enough. Genuinely, the best host I've ever had is William's mum and dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
bless you. They'll be
Ben's
delighted
still
with
barred from having a rant about estate agents in front of William's dad, who
Yeah, true.
used to be an estate agent. But
that. They did. We can't go into it too much, but they did the story I did on the podcast this time last week about their Miami taxi driver. They did that verbatim to you, unedited, which was interesting.
she made the best spaghetti meatballs that I've been thinking about all week. I wish I took some back with me. She made some, get on this, ginger brownies.
They were very nice.
They were very nice. And then Brian went,
You asked for some for the road.
Yeah, I asked for some for the road, and she put them in a little Tupperware with some napkins.
Yeah. They lasted until the Sunday when we were coming back to be fair.
Brian said, I don't like ginger. And I went, oh, go on, try one. He went, oh, go on then, I'll have one. And he chewed into one. And it was all silent on the table. And everyone was looking with bated breath. And he went, no, too gingery. And then we went, she made a dessert. Oh, they just can't do enough for you.
Passion fruit posset.
Passion fruit, what was it?
Posset.
Posset, it was lovely. Like your wine, you'll finish your wine and they'll just top you up. Lovely girls. Then we went through to the living room. What do you call it?
Sitting room.
Sitting room. I know I said it wrong. And we were talking about our holidays and what we got booked for the year. And
I don't know if you can.
and I quote, she went, Turkey? Isn't that where everybody gets shot on the beach? I was like, no, I don't think that's Turkey. She went, oh, well, I've never been. So, yeah, it was. I cannot tell you how. The next day, she was late for work. She volunteered. It was your face. She was late for a voluntary job. She volunteers every Friday at a local hospital. This is how lovely she is. And she was late. She texted the boss because I got up late, and she stayed to make us breakfast, salmon and scrambled eggs.
She did.
And then what was the text she sent you on the way
She
when we left
texted to
for
say,
Devon?
no one has ever left that particular guest bedroom that you were in as tidily as you.
I buffed up the sink and everything. I know she likes a nice sink like me.
She does. She would have gone in and absolutely bleached that room to smithereens, but
I
the courtesy was there.
I used, there was a face cloth, so I didn't use it for my face. I used it to buff the sink up. Made the
Oh.
bed perfect.
You
So, yeah.
did, I know. It looked like you hardly slept in there.
And then we went to Devon and spent a beautiful house. It was great because it's like a hotel, isn't it? Can you describe it best? Where
Well, it's not. It's a private house.
it's a private house, but you
So in many ways, not like a hotel.
you're encouraged to. Well, it is. You have guests of it, but you're encouraged to mingle with the guests and other.
It was
couples.
a house party in the old-fashioned sense of the word. House party now means a different thing, but sort of like almost an Agatha Christie. No one got murdered, but like an Agatha Christie-esque. Lots of people descending upon a house for a country weekend, basically.
It was beautiful, and we met loads of other families and couples.
Yes.
Sounds a bit weird now. So, did you get your car keys back?
No. Yes.
But it was really lovely, wasn't it? We went for a swim in the sea in Devon on Saturday
Well, not
morning.
all of us. No. I drove the car. I drove the car from that because I was very worried those that were going to be dipped in the sea. It was about a 20-minute walk from the house down to the beach. And I thought, well, that's fine going down before you've got in, but you don't want to sort of be walking up sort of in quite cold weather. You'll get hypothermia. So I thought I will drive, and then you all put you and Mikey put your toweling robes from the bathroom, your white fluffy hotel sort of esque toweling robes in the back of a dressing gown. So once you got out of the beach, you were the only people on the beach, very busy beach, that were in sort of, white fluffy toweling robes.
So
It was very camp.
Mikey, and who else was it that went
Our
swimming?
new friend Adam.
Adam. Was it just me,
Yes.
Mike, and Adam?
Oh no, and Roxy.
And Roxy. We went for
Yeah.
went for a swim in the beach on Saturday morning.
Oh, you don't go for a swim in the beach. You
On
go
the
for a
sea.
swim in the sea.
It was, and I was building myself up to it all day. It was. I still haven't found my bollocks. It was freezing. Honestly, they went that far up. Honestly, it was so cold, and I didn't have any swimming trunks, so I just thought I'd go in my boxers.
Yeah, that was odd. That was very odd.
Was it?
Yeah.
Why?
Because, your boxers.
So?
And
Why were you looking?
I wasn't looking. Although, tell you what we were all looking at.
What?
Quote unquote, as it was described by my husband, your broad shoulders and slutty waist.
He did say that to me.
He did several times.
He said, he kept saying, George, you've got right broad shoulders and a slutty waist. The things I'd do to you. I'd
He did
snap
not
you
say
in
that
half."
last bit.
I was just going to ask how Mikey reacted to being in the sea as well. Was he all right?
He was all right.
Mikey loved it.
Oh, he's made us. He got back in for second. Cold this. You want to be on bloody sight up north? This is bloody mild for me. This. Honestly, he was like a little dolphin in and out. Honestly, weren't he? Yeah, and that's one of the best compliments I've ever had.
Did you see his blowhole? Dolphins have a blowhole.
I'm aware. Can you put that on my gravestone, please?
What, you should see his blowhole?
No. Here lies Jordan North, broad shoulders and a slutty waist.
Your coffin will be very wide at the top and just go in a bit.
Like most coffins.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true. No, but yours will go in a bit even more.
I forgot about that. Broad
Yeah.
shoulders and slutty waist.
I thought you'd like that.
Out.
I thought you'd like it if I brought it back up.
Oh, and on Sunday morning, didn't really knock. It was just a little come barging in.
Excuse me?
Started singing on Sunday morning. Naturally, I was delighted.
You were lying in bed with your book, and I think you had coffee. I can't remember.
did have
It
coffee.
clearly hadn't percolated through your system.
Reading my book. It was the most perfect Sunday morning ever, right? I'm right into my book at the moment. I'll put it up. It's What Went Wrong with Capitalism.
Yeah, he was in bed sorting out capitalism.
It's really, Ben, you'd like it. It's really good, right? So I'm reading that, and I'm just thinking, I've got Classic FM on in background. It was perfect bliss. And then him and Mikey come flouncing in. What were you singing?
Good morning, etc.
And they're going, good morning, good morning. I was like,
To you.
And they were both like in sync together. It was very cute. Now I look back at the time.
Exactly. It was fun.
Yeah.
We had a lovely time. So
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting
No,
us.
it was great. I'm so
Did you
glad.
like the road trip home?
No, that was the worst bit about it. I don't know why.
You were on your phone for the entire journey.
Was I?
Yes.
Was I?
You were being a little moody little so and
No,
so.
I wasn't on my phone for all of it, was I?
90% of the journey, then.
Was I actually?
Other
not?
than the bit where we had a very exciting 10-minute sort of Gordano services.
I got a paper. I read the paper most of the way home.
Oh, to be fair, you were reading about James the First.
Yeah.
Okay, you were either on on the phone or reading the paper.
Yeah, and
you weren't
then-
contributing to the camaraderie of the group.
Ben, 4 hours of musicals. Then
It was 2 hours because it was Michelle Visage in for Elaine Page on Radio 2.
no. First of all, we had the Wicked soundtrack, and then
Well, that wasn't me, was it?
they put Elaine Page on Radio 2. and
Michelle Visage.
It was 2 hours of non-stop music. Honestly,
And she played Mary Poppins. I mean, you cannot imagine how happy I was.
We'll send you the video because I put it up on, and it's just, it was too much, if I'm honest.
Even some local paper did a story. Did you see that?
Did they?
About your despairing. Someone help me because William Hanson plays whatever Mary Poppins in a road trip. It was a very slow news day that day.
That reminds me of when I used to drive the vans on our tours.
Yes.
I once shared the cab with William. I shared the cab with both of you, but I also once shared the cab with Mikey, and he played me from start to finish just a completely random musical theatre album, and I was like, "This is the worst thing I've ever heard."
Imagine 4 hours of it with them.
4 hours
With them all singing. In
Hang
car.
on, what year was that? 2018? 19?
I think it might have been 2020 when it was just pre.
Oh, I wonder what musical that would have
Pre-lockdown.
been.
And all weekend I had in my head, no one mourns the wicked. I just couldn't stop singing it. And I don't, I'm not the biggest
Well-
fan of the song. No one mourns the wicked.
Well, guess what's happening in our house? He's
What?
found the German cast recording and he's learning Defying Gravity in German.
Verstand for
It basically that.
Verstand durch Technik war die Ah. Ah. That's more of a German way of doing it. isn't it?
Yes.
Ah. Scheiße.
Anything else going on in your week?
Yeah, can we just briefly, a couple of things,
Oh, yeah.
just touch upon wire-fitted television's common? You made that comment to me this weekend.
Oh, yes. No, wall-mounted television.
That's it.
Yes.
Wall-mounted televisions are common. Now, in my house, all my tellies, I make it out like I've got loads of tellies. My tellies,
It's like a Curry's window at your house.
make it, all my tellies are wall-mounted.
Quad erat demonstrandum.
I beg your pardon?
Quad erat demonstrandum.
No, they're Samsung.
QED. No, they're LED.
What's quite...
It means, and thus, it proves my point.
I got my tellies fitted to wall and thought I was doing all right for myself.
Right.
Well, your mum and dad have got theirs fitted.
They have no. Now stop. Don't just throw that out there like a grenade. They have only recently gone wall mounted. I think it's very common because they used to have a freestanding television on a plinth, but then they got a sound bar. The sound bar that they hadn't had plugged, they had for 6 months and realised they hadn't plugged it in, so they weren't convinced it was working. It's like, well, you actually need to plug it in for it to work. Anyway, and I then suggested because they then couldn't. The sound bar came up covering the receptor where you're meant to, the thing that picks up the remote control signal. So ultimately, they either had to change the TV, which they didn't want to do, even though it's basically a box on the back. Did you see the back of it? And then, or put it on the wall. So they've now had to put it on the wall, but it is a bit common.
Well, I didn't think that was common at all. The live, laugh, love signs, and the house is not a
shut
home unless you. And is it gin o'clock yet? All those potted around.
Excuse me, we came to my parents, not yours.
Oh,
What?
she does that.
Exactly,
No,
you've said it before.
Shut up! It's sweet. It's cute. Also, your mum loves crap telly, don't she? She got up early to watch the EastEnders episode.
Oh, because it was EastEnders
She
week.
missed the live episode because we were around, which I felt bad for. She's been in on, she's telling me all about Love Island. Yeah, we're dead into her. She's like Gen Z, isn't she?
She
Very
is.
Gen Z, your mum.
So Gen Z.
She's telling me all about the hairdressers she's had in different countries, and
Oh yeah.
yeah, she's hilarious. They were
Because
lovely.
she used to have three blow dries a week.
Yeah,
Because she had the same hair taste as Princess Margaret. She doesn't anymore. But there was a time in my life where my father, James, and I would be off, at the beach, exploring whatever city we were in. My mother was in the hairdresser. Wow. I know. God bless her. But she realised quite quickly that needed to stop. So that has stopped now.
bless her.
Can I just talk about another thing that's annoyed me this week? And I've seen it for years.
About me.
No, not about
Oh,
you
okay.
at all. No. People, when you're commuting, and I'm sure this happens anywhere, but particularly on the London Underground, I think it's prevalent, but it probably happens at train stations up and down the land. People who are walking at busy, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's busy or not, but it's even worse at busy times. And they're watching whatever they're watching on their phone. And they're just watching their phone. No, you can't do. And then you're getting on escalators, you're getting in lifts, there are other people around. Put the phone down. Whatever you are watching can wait. You can click pause, you can commute, and then you can watch it when you're static, but not when you're walking. They should be shot.
All right.
No, I'm all tasered or
Babe, let's
clip round the leg. Give them a good hiding.
a good hiding, yeah.
Yes.
Well, don't give anyone a good hiding, but yeah. I do
Metaphorically.
see it. I mean, I won't do it myself, but babe.
No, but you
babe.
Mm.
Babe. I don't know where that's come from, but babe, let's go with it. Yeah?
Yes.
It's like last weekend. You know, commutes are hard. Commutes are knackering. They can be hard work. If you, especially
Yes,
some
they are
people
bloody
commute
hard
for
work because you're having to dodge all the people that are on their
an hour and a half, and
phones.
if you've got an escape for an hour and a half, watching the favourite show on the phone, leave them bloody be.
Hour and a half? That's not a commute. That's long haul.
Yeah, that's what most people have to do. Most people who have proper jobs have to go into work every day, not get fucking coat fittings at lunchtime and meals with so-and-so. Just saying.
Not all of us get a car sent for us.
I don't get a car sent for me. I pay for my own taxi, thank you very much. I'm not arguing. I'm not.
The people that walk around watching things on their phones, they are the ones that you just hope when they go outside onto the street, a phone snatcher goes past them and whips the phone. They're the ones who deserve it.
Oh, you'd be fuming if you got your phone snatched halfway through an episode. It's like on a big cliffhanger.
Anyway. Any more for any
Also,
more?
we should have an international sign for a phone snatcher.
It's that, isn't it?
No, just go, phone snatcher! Phone snatcher! And then we can all say it. And then everybody says it.
Oh, I
and
get served those videos. Not so much anymore. In Rome, where pickpocketing is quite ripe, there's that woman, and Venice, that goes around going, oh, what does she say in Italian? It's pickpocket in Italian, but it sounds very sophisticated.
Piccolo pocketer!
Yeah, and she goes around shouting it to warn others that there are pickpockets around.
Right. Shall we do your etymology of the week, please?
Yes, if you would like. Now, you wanted something very etiquette-y, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes, because you were, you turned your nose up at Super Cow.
I've
You
been there-
turned your
I'm not-
nose up
am I
at your
horrible
name.
to you? I do love you.
I love you too.
I'm only joking, Devon.
So I thought, what could be more etiquette than the topic of tea?
Oh, nice. You've done that before.
Not this. So, for how long do you think we have been drinking tea in the United Kingdom, or previously known as Great Britain?
It comes from China or India.
Yes, but for how long have we been drinking it in this country?
Well, I don't know.
Give it some thought, and after these messages, I'll tell you.
It's William, the etiquette geek. His knowledge is quite unique. He'll give you manners, a subtle tweak. It's time for William's etymology of the week. Cha 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 cha.
Still feel we could do something different with the cha-chas.
Oh, God, right. Well, we'll add that to the many list of things we need to work on.
Okay, thank you. So, for how long do you think we've been drinking tea in this country?
I don't know. Tell us. Go on.
Well, for about 400 years. We were drinking coffee first, actually. Not for much longer, but we were actually a nation of
Really?
coffee drinkers before we were a nation of tea drinkers. So, it first came to Britain around the 1640s from China, as you said. When it first arrived, it was mainly drunk for health reasons, but by the late 17th century, it was a fashionable drink. Now, initially and up to the early 19th century, tea was almost always taken with sugar, but not milk. It was cream. And that's why a milk jug in a tea set is called a creamer. So if you're buying a whole thing, it's called a creamer, even though a lot of people now will go, no, Americans put cream in coffee, we put milk in tea.
I'd like to try.
Creamy tea. Maybe we do that next week. Now, sugar in tea became less popular because sugar was associated with slavery. The anti-saccharide movement of the early 19th century, whereby people boycotted sugar in tea, choosing East Indian sugar.
Do you think they would have been called woke back then?
Well, who knows?
Standing up for what was wrong.
Basically, that was the first consumer boycott.
Oh, great.
Basically, was when people stopped buying sugar because it was back then associated with slavery. The name tea comes from te, T-E, spelt T-E, but pronounced te, which is the name given to tea in the Manayan dialect spoken in the Fujian province in China, where tea was imported to Europe by early traders. So, because China had the monopoly on tea and the porcelain used to drink it, and tea had to be made with boiling water, only Chinese porcelain can bear the heat. And so, when tea arrived 400 years ago, no porcelain was made in Europe. And this is where, and I have done this bit before, not as etiquettemology, that's where the whole milk in first, milk in last thing came from, because European pottery was quite badly made. So you had to put your milk or cream in first to cool down the china so it didn't crack, whereas Chinese expensive porcelain could withstand the high temperatures, so you could put it in second. So supposedly putting in milk in first was seen as a bit common. Basically, finally, tea was very expensive until the 1780s and only became the drink of every class when British tea plantations began producing tea in India, Ceylon, and Africa during the 19th century. And tea was especially popular in the 19th century as it became cheaper and was promoted as a temperance beverage. What's a temperance beverage?
Tea.
Well, yeah, but a temperance beverage was something that you were encouraged to drink instead of drinking alcohol.
Oh.
When the temperance movement, don't give in to the demon alcohol, as my former headmaster chose his first ever speech at my school when he started as headmaster to stand up and go, "Beware the demon alcohol."
Okay, is anybody else listening to this now really want a brew? I really want a brew. So yeah, I'd love.
Literally next week, let's do tea with cream in it and see what it's like.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I don't like tea generally, but
I love a good brew.
No.
Tea after 2 for me.
Tea after 2.
Tea after 2 or 3.
2 for tea and tea for 2.
3 the latest ever coffee.
Okay.
I love a tea. Yeah. That was very interesting.
Thank you. Was that etiquette-y enough for
Yeah,
you?
I'll use that again.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's the one you've sent me for next week?
We want
Or
you
week
to
after?
the 16th chapel.
The 16th chapel. I will.
2 weeks' time.
Yeah, 2 weeks' time. Thank you.
All right. Now it's time for your questions and dilemmas. Now remember,
What do we remember?
the 5th of November.
No, you just said remember very forcefully.
Well, remember, if you need our help with something, then get in touch. You can send your tales of trepidation to help@sextonmyboss.com. You can DM us. We're at sextonmyboss on socials. Or you can write to William, who, in the fullness of time, promises a handwritten reply in one of our luxury greeting cards of executive cell seal envelopes. He will reply to you. If you say he doesn't, he will sue you. The address is on the website. sextonmyboss.com. William Hanson.
It's true. We're starting off with... No, don't.
Not said a word.
Okay, we're starting off with an anonymous dilemma. Hi, Jordan and William. A couple of months ago, I was dating someone who asked me to go on a cheap holiday with him to Madrid. He even showed me the hotel online. I distinctly remember its weirdly shaped swimming pool. I politely declined for a few reasons. Finances, the fact I'd already been to Madrid 3 times, and not being able to get time off work. I did suggest a trip later in the year, but he didn't seem interested. About a week later, the relationship ended with little to no explanation, and then, just last week, I saw his social media posts. Sure enough, there he was at the exact same hotel with another girl. Same weird pool, same dates he'd planned to go with me. So, was my refusal to go on holiday the reason he ended things? Do I reach out to his new girlfriend to let her know, or do I just let her figure it out on her own?
Don't reach out. Don't be like, girl, that could have been me. Just, I don't know. I don't reach out. Just a dignified. What? What?
Girl, that could have been me.
That's how Gen Z girls speak to each other. Girl.
She may not be Gen Z.
Well, just a dignified silence in this. It sounds like you've had a lucky escape there. So dignified silence.
Well, no, hang on.
No, don't
No.
be like, oh, that could have been
No.
me.
He was sort of...
Someone did that with a TV show to me once. I won't tell you. And they went, oh yeah, well they asked me to do it. I was like, oh all right. And they went, oh yeah, and you know they asked so and so. I was like, right, cheers, thanks.
And just to think, if they had, it might have got a second series.
Probably would have.
Some commissioners regretting that decision.
Probably would have done.
Well, that's showbiz, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Anyway,
so you don't need to say that.
you were never the first choice. You have to remember that. Not you personally, just,
Yeah, I don't think. Just dignified silence on this one.
I don't know. Like, are you still... When you're saying, should I reach out to this new girlfriend and let her know, is he still dating you? If so, potentially.
Well,
but
no,
if
he's
they've
clearly not.
well, if they've moved on, well, so be it.
Yeah, yeah.
He clearly had already booked it. He was trying to be romantic and sort of invite you along. You said no. That's probably very valid reasons, I grant you. But it's a bit of a signal that you weren't interested, or he can probably assumes that you weren't interested, and so he's moved on. There are plenty more fish in the sea.
Exactly.
Iona in Fitzrovia, shock, has a question for us.
Where's Fitzrovia? Is her name Fitzrovia or Iona?
Iona in Fitzrovia.
Where's Fitzrovia?
Very nice part of London. Sort of Bloomsbury adjacent.
Is it? Sounds
Your old
posh.
place of work was technically Fitzrovia, or Fitzrovia adjacent, just there.
What,
just
MBH?
slightly. Yeah.
Is that Fitzrovia?
Ish. It's on the border.
No, that's...
Where the BT Tower is in that area.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dear William and Jordan, as a corporate professional living and working in London, I need your guidance on a pressing issue. How does one elegantly eat a massive sandwich from a local lunch spot? I'm talking a solid 10 centimetre thick meaty sensation. Gosh, we're back to you in the sea. Do I take it apart? Well, not quite. Do I just take it apart, or do I just go for it and hope for the best? I fear ruining my luxury tailor-made suit with rogue sandwich juices.
Okay, let me tell you here, Iona, there isn't a way to elegantly eat a massive sandwich because I, in the UK's leading etiquette expert, absolutely inhale a 12-inch in the car.
At Gordano Services.
At Gordano Services. We both went to Subway. I can't believe we both ate those butties. And there isn't an elegant way to do it. You've just got to get stuck in. It's like pizza as well. Just get stuck in. Don't worry.
It's also quite hard to eat that when you're going at 70 miles an hour down the motorway, being
Yeah.
blasted
Oh,
with
you-
defying gravity.
You bloody managed it. What was your Subway order, by the way?
Chicken.
What,
Chicken toasted with cheese.
Italian BMT. I told you when Pilks used to work at Subway. Yeah, he used to always bring us back some sandwiches. And every night we did this thing. We were like 16, 17. We thought it was really cool. We had every different type of combination. And we worked out that the best, this was 15 years ago.
Well, you didn't have social media back then.
So, and he definitely paid for the sandwiches. We worked out what the best was. And we did a little chart, a little tally and stuff. We had Dominic, we had it up. And we worked out that the best sandwich you could get from Subway was an Italian BMT on the hot Italian. So there you go.
Well, the hours must have flown by.
With ranch sauce, but they don't do ranch anymore.
Do they not?
But we every for about 3 weeks we bought a different combination. Yeah, it's good.
So, Iona, what I would say is you don't need to eat, if let's say it's a baguette or a massive sandwich, you can break it into smaller portions.
Oh, Jesus.
You can break it into smaller portions and eat that rather than sort of picking up the whole thing and going in whole, is what I would suggest.
I'd say going whole, but don't worry, you're more conscious about eating a sandwich.
But also, if you are eating in front of colleagues, don't just pick something easier to eat.
Just don't make eye contact when eating a banana. Next week, right? Next episode, we'll eat a banana each and make eye contact, and I bet it'll freak you out. Right? Should we do that? Right?
We're already doing tea with cream.
Yeah, you can both be eating the banana with
Trust
creamy
me.
tea at the
Right.
same time.
We will try and eat
Oh, I could dip my banana in the cream.
You're an etiquette expert. Have some grace and decorum. Bloody hell. We'll eat a banana next week, and I
Right.
bet you won't be able to do it with straight faces. It's so weird.
Sure, that's correct.
Chris did it mid-link to me on air. I was mid-link. Chris just burst into banana and looked at me.
Hello, HR.
Anyway.
An anonymous dilemma now. Dear William Jordan and the help I sectored my boss team, I require your assistance with an email etiquette dilemma. As part of my job, I need to reach out to members of the House of Lords, including a Baroness Susan Elizabeth Garden.
I don't get it.
Standard etiquette dictates that the female peers are addressed as Lady Surname, which in this case would make her Lady Garden. So, do I break protocol to avoid what feels wildly inappropriate in a professional setting? Or do I stick to etiquette and just hope she's heard every joke in the book already?
So she would read letters that say Lady Garden.
I would stick with, I'm sure she has heard it
How
many
do people
times.
call her Lady Garden and keep a straight face? That's Lady Garden over there.
Mm.
Does she?
Yeah, Lady Garden, dear Lady Garden,
Dear Lady Garden.
I think is all you need to do. And then on the envelope, she would be the Baroness Garden.
Can we just ban that saying for
What?
the Lady Garden? That and tuppence.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't like tuppence.
No.
No.
I thought you'd say, I can imagine, if you were straight, you'd say tuppence.
I would absolutely not.
You'd say, this is a parallel world. My wife has a problem with her tuppence. I can imagine you saying that.
No. Don't imagine me straight, please. I've spent 35 years trying to build up this reputation. Don't undermine it.
Can you imagine William with a wife? I did. I always say this when I first met you. I thought you were married to a librarian.
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 Another anonymous one now. Hello, both. I was recently entrusted with the responsibility of transporting a deceased family member's ashes from the funeral home to our home for a private memorial. Unfortunately, along the way, I tripped and fell, causing some of the ashes to spill. In a panic, I scrambled to gather what I could get back in the urn, but the wind carried some away. When I handed the urn over to another family member, they immediately sensed something was off. It was noticeably lighter and made a sloshing around that hadn't been there before. Embarrassed and unsure as to how to handle the situation, I blamed the funeral home for shorting us on ashes, and now we're in an argument with them over payment and future cremations being put on hold with our family.
Oh.
What future cremations do you have coming up? Who has a future cremation?
Oh,
I mean, how many do you have booked in?
See, initially I was thinking, oh, good one, good save, playing the funeral on. But yeah,
What's the best way to come clean about what really happened?
first of all, you're going to have to come clean here. And I think you're just going to have to say it.
Do you want to role play this? How would you pretend you're the one that spilt the ashes? It's believable.
Mm-hmm.
I'm your relative.
Yeah.
Let's say, God forbid. Okay, and this is just hypothetical. God forbid something happened to Mikey.
Oh, no, I don't want to do that.
And you've got to tell me you have spilt his ashes.
Right. William,
Yes.
I know you're suing the crematorium. Yeah.
Mm.
This is something I probably should have told you ages ago.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a right clumsy bugger.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I went to pick Mikey's ashes up for you.
Right.
Yeah. And, you know, he's a big lad, weren't he? Big, tall lad. Big, tall Yorkshire lad.
Mm.
Well, they were quite heavy and big. It was in a big urn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I tripped, and some of his ashes fell out and blew off in wind.
Where were you at the time?
It was just outside the West End, and it was just outside the Wicked Theatre. So it kind of blew into the theatre mid-performance, and I thought it was a very touching tribute.
Well, you've saved me a job.
There you go.
There we go. So I'd be fine with that.
Yeah, what's the theatre called where Wicked is?
Apollo Victoria.
Apollo Victoria, yeah. And it was just, so I'd just say it was a beautiful, just had a little bit of bullshit. Just say it was a beautiful sight. They went off in wind, and I got a real presence of him, and I think that's what they
Well,
wanted.
I quite like what you've done there. I quite like what you could do, and this is where I'm not one for lying, but you could sort of slight white lie, is you could say that it happened somewhere that would have meant a lot to that person, rather than, I was round the back of the bins at Morrison's or something. I mean, that could mean a lot to somebody, but you sort of say that's where it happened.
That would have
so
worked.
At least
Mikey's
they can
favourite
go.
spot around the back of the bins at Morrison.
At least they could go, oh well, that's all right then. But I think you've got to be honest.
Yeah.
Maybe you write a letter.
I was just thinking, would a letter be a coward's way out? Or according to you, would that be all right?
I don't know. You could at least hand the letter over to them in person and go, look, I've just written something down in paper. I wanted you to have it on paper so you can have the full story. Give me a call
It's
once
a
you've read
tricky
it.
one, this. It is a tricky one. It's going to cause... but you've got to be honest with this one. And plus, you'll be able to think of the weight off your shoulders.
Yeah, true. Talking of Wicked, something that actually we have not talked about on this podcast. I don't know whether you actually know this, but starting in sometime in March this month, the actress that played Mary Poppins, that I've watched play Mary Poppins for however many times, Zizi Strallen, is going into Wicked. She's going to be Glinda.
Is she?
In the West End.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
your favourite actress.
Yep.
When's she doing that?
As of end of March, I think.
Oh, great.
So
That'll be
Mikey and
really
I will be
good.
there every night.
I bet you will.
That restraining order's over now, anyway.
Speaking of weight
You've
off...
just stolen my joke. I
Oh,
had my
sorry.
hand up and then you went through the joke.
Sorry.
Hey, speaking of weight off your shoulders.
Yes.
Yeah. I've got a new physio that's been recommended to me. Right, and you've just reminded me.
Mm.
I went to see him this week, 2 days ago.
Is this the start of a joke?
No,
No.
this is real. Right, and I just want you to hear this, because I walked in and even I thought, I've got to record this. It sounds so weird. Bearing in mind, take that, how deep is your love is playing. Okay, so just have a listen to the. I thought, I've got to record this. It's brilliant. Oh.
Need to know how deep is your love? Oh, that's good. That is really good. Oh. Oh. Did it hurt this much last time?
More. But the truth is, today I'll probably be able to get deeper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've got more access today. Your back's not as... I think last time your back was 100% locked up. Today it's probably 70, so I'll have more access today.
So you get deeper?
Deeper, yeah.
I've got a weight off my shoulders after that. It's a deep tissue massager.
A deep tissue massage.
Tissue massager.
Okay.
Yeah, but I thought, if anyone's listening next door, I'm going, oh yeah, you can get deeper this week.
To be fair, I thought you were sitting a little straighter.
Did you?
Yeah. I've got a handwritten letter now, Jordan.
Oh, look at that.
Double-sided, relatively nice writing, thank you. Dear William Jordan, EPB et al. Firstly, I wanted to say a big thank you for how much your podcast has done for me. Last summer, I went through a breakup and a family loss in the same week, and having Sexter to listen to twice a week really made a hard time a bit better.
Oh,
Knowing that twice a week I had something to look forward to and laugh at really kept me going. In the style of Swifties and as a Gen Z, I have made you some friendship bracelets as a thank you for unknowingly supporting me. Thank you for those.
That's sweet. Thank
This
you.
brings me on to my dilemma. The breakup last summer was of a long-term relationship and ended very badly, resulting in both of us saying there should be absolutely no communication between the two of us.
Oh.
In the time since, I have noticed my ex-partner has still been using my Tesco club card. I have no idea how they hadn't noticed, but they have collected at least 1,000 points on it since we split up. Should I break no contact and tell them, or do I just leave them and let them not notice on their own? The last time I tried to tell them they left something at my flat, I got ignored. I don't want to feel guilty like I'm stealing their points, but also it seems really petty, and I really do not want to talk to them again. What's the right thing to do? Thank you again for everything. You're really the best, Anonymous.
Okay, Anonymous, take those points, sister.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Don't worry
Take
about
those
it.
points. If they get in touch, fine, but you take those points and reap them and sow them. Is that right, man?
You go to Alton Towers on their points, or whatever you can do.
it. You take those points.
Yes.
Honestly, yeah. And if they get in touch, then fine. But wait for them to get in touch.
And you've
already reached out.
You've reached out and they ignored you.
Yeah. Don't feel bad. You've got a good soul, a good heart on you as well. I can tell by that. If that's the biggest thing that's worrying you, honestly,
I think you're doing all right.
you're a good person.
You're absolutely fine. Thank you for that. I'm going to do another response session when I have to write to everyone back. I've got a big wodge building out.
Have you?
They've just given me some more as well.
How would you have time?
I try to do.
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, I do enjoy it.
Oh.
Generally, I sit there sometimes crying because they're more not at club card points, to be fair, but at other letters, I'm there because they're so heartfelt. And most of the time, people that write in, actually, they're not necessarily with dilemmas. They're just writing in.
I
lovely
reply
things.
as well. You always say, here's things for you, and I always reply.
I've done that twice.
That's not true. I've written quite a lot of letters to our VIG&DIVAs. Yeah, I have. Actually, I've got my own letterhead of paper. Thank you very much. So.
Oh, on that, I need to talk to you about that because I'm going to give you when you move eventually. That's my housewarming gift to you. I've got you sorted. Letterhead of paper with your new address on. Once it's gone through.
When am I ever going to use that?
You said to me about 2 weeks ago, "Oh, I'd love that. I'd love that. Where'd you get that?" W.H. Smith is basically what you said. And I have sorted it out.
But William, I don't know if you know this. For a living, I talk shite. I talk absolute shite.
Well, an offer has been put to me, and we're going to go and pick out your own
that'll be nice.
correspondence paper.
Yeah. Does that mean I have to write letters?
Well, apparently you're doing it all the time.
I've got thank you cards that you get, like a bunch for £5.
Right. Well, we'll upgrade that.
Okay. Thank you. That's very kind of you.
Thank you. It wasn't actually me, but it has been put to me, and I will take you, and we'll pick out your font.
Oh,
and what colour paper?
That'll be nice.
It'll be lovely.
That'll be really nice.
Yeah, we're going to do that once. Let's not jinx it, because I hope everything goes through with the house and all that.
Oh,
but,
don't get me started.
Yeah.
Oh, why have you mentioned that? Then put me on right.
Sorry.
Oh, God. solicitors I could swing from. Anyway, thank you for your questions and dilemmas. Remember, you can listen and watch every Tuesday and Friday, and we will see you again on Friday.
Goodbye.